All right, we are back with the Demorris Hunter trial day one. Who have we heard from thus far? Well, we heard from the neighbor, Joseph Butler, stated they were having a gathering and that Theresa Green was already drunk. He was drinking, nobody else was drinking, but that uh, his wife, Joyce, her daughter, Lisa Moore, was there as well. What happened? Apparently, there was a fight. Joseph hit Theresa. She had a bloody nose. That's how the blood got on the door frame of the butler's apartment. Theresa and Mike Hunter, Demorris Hunter, were having a fight and they tumbled down the stairs. They looked like they got up, everything was okay. They went back to the apartment. Lisa Moore testified that she had knocked on the apartment door because she wanted to use the phone, and that Michael Hunter had gone to the door and stated that Theresa was calming down and therefore she couldn't come to the door and you couldn't come in. Then later on, Lisa Moore said she knocked on the door again and nobody answered. But she didn't, she heard yelling and screaming before, but at this last time when she knocked on the door, she didn't hear anything. Then Joseph Butler stated that Mike had knocked on his door earlier in that morning to take the cars to the lot. His wife had stated that Mike was at the door, but didn't wake Joseph. That's kind of unclear. Then the next time that Mike knocked on the door was about 7 a.m. The party ended about 2:33 in the morning. Now it's 7 a.m. Mike is knocking on the door, asking if Joseph can drive with him to go drop off the car at a car lot, something that Theresa had spoken about earlier. But unfortunately, when they went to go take the car, Mike was driving the car. Theresa was nowhere to be found. Joseph was driving the white van, white cargo van. If we found out who Pete was, it belongs to Pete. Pete's name is Henry Fields / Pete. And that when Mike Hunter dropped off the car, he had gotten back into the cargo van and had told Joseph Butler that he had done something bad. Then we also heard from Theresa's son, Octavius, who had come home, realized that the house was messed up, that there was a hole in the wall, there was a purse on the ground, contents of the purse on the bed, something about a watch. He called his grandmother. Grandmother came over. Grandmother called the police. Octavius spoke to Lisa Moore. Lisa Moore didn't tell him anything about the fight. Lisa Moore didn't tell him anything about the drinking and that the falling down of the stairs. But I assume they told the police. So then we heard from 3 different police officers who were just getting evidence in. So we are going to go ahead and get right back into it and continue our trial day one of Demorris Mike Hunter, or he also goes by the name of Mike Berry. We found that out.
Your Honor, I request you publish the perpetuated testimony of Theresa Green. The perpetuated testimony of Theresa Green.
Okay, so
Your Honor, I request you publish the perpetuated testimony of Theresa Green.
testimony of somebody. I wonder if this is, I don't know who this is. Marissa Kuzman. Marissa Kuzma. Well, this is interesting. Oh dear. Keep going. Go. No.
Just a second. I can hear it over the speakers. It's just not very loud. But if you turn it.
Mine's volume's maxed here.
Okay. Try one more thing. Try it again. See if that helps.
Say calls Theresa Green. That's better.
Was it better?
I think so. State calls Theresa Green.
She needs to pull that microphone closer.
My name is Marissa Kuzma, AUZ.
Can y'all hear that? No. Okay.
We can call a witness out of order and see if we can work on this number 8.
All right. We'll call a witness out of order and I'll have AD come and figure out.
Okay.
Hear the audio well enough.
Right. And she's not close enough to the mic.
State calls Doug Thomas.
All right. So Doug Thomas, Marissa, we're going to come back to her. He's got a file or a report with him.
Sir, could you state your name and spell your last name for the court reporter, please?
Douglas Thomas, Thomas.
Thank you. You may inquire.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
What do you do for a living now?
Now I don't do anything. I do volunteer work.
Okay. Back, what did you do when you worked?
Okay, so I was a crime scene investigator with the Orlando Police Department for over 31 years.
For what period of time were you a crime scene investigator?
That was from 1990 until 2022, I think.
What did you do on a day-to-day basis as a crime scene investigator?
So we'd respond out to all sorts of crime scenes, death investigations, armed robberies, traffic fatalities, burglaries, and we process the crime scenes.
What does it mean to process a crime scene?
So we take photographs, we collect evidence, we test for fingerprints, we look for DNA.
Did you often work as a team when processing a major crime like a homicide?
Yes, we did.
And why was that important to work as a team?
Well, it's much faster when you got 2 people working, and we take different duties throughout the crime scene as far as processing the scene.
Let me direct your attention to Tuesday, May 28th of 2002. Did you respond to the Bay Run Apartments located at 3216 Cornell Avenue in Orlando to assist in processing a crime scene?
Yes, I did.
And with whom did you respond and work with to process that scene?
It was CSI Gerber, but now she goes by Kuzma.
Her first name, Marissa?
Yes,
Did you enter the apartment rented by Theresa Green, specifically apartment number 11?
yes, I did.
And during the search of her apartment, did you locate what appeared to be blood on the master bedroom door trim?
Yes,
Did you collect a sample of that blood?
yes, I did.
Can you explain to the jury how you go about doing that?
Collecting the sample.
Yes.
So first off, we've got to determine whether or not that stain is blood or not blood. So we do what's called a phenolphthalein test, and it's basically a 3-chemical test. You take a small swab of the stain, and then we apply alcohol to it, like 1 drop of alcohol, 1 drop of phenolphthalein, and 1 drop of hydrogen peroxide. And if the stain turns like a pink color or a magenta color, then it's positive for blood. If it doesn't, then we know it's not blood and we don't take a sample of it.
So how would you go about actually collecting a sample if it was determined to be blood by the phenolphthalein test?
Okay, so we use sterile swabs. It's almost like a small wooden stick with a cotton swab on the end. And we put a little bit of sterile water on the tip of it. And then we rub it over the stain to pick up as much of the stain as possible. And then once I finish doing that, we let it air dry, and then I enter it into our evidence section.
And what do you do with the cotton swab once it dries? Do you put it in a package?
Yes,
What do you do with that package?
I submit it to our property and evidence section.
Did you follow that same procedure you just described when you collect a sample from that blood on the door trim of apartment 11?
Yes,
Approach. So you go to Market States Civic Bar for identification. You recognize that item. Sorry.
yes, I recognize this.
How do you recognize it?
It's got my handwriting on the front. It's got my initials across the seal on the top.
Is that currently sealed?
Yes, it is.
And what is that item?
It's a blood sample from the master bedroom door frame.
And is it in the same or substantially the same condition as when you collected it that day, except for some additional markings from Florida Department of Law Enforcement?
Yes,
This time state would move states R into evidence as 19.
It will be admitted as states 19.
You know, they didn't show us any pictures of what her apartment looked like. You would have thought that that would have come in earlier. Hmm. I'm sure they took pictures. This was 2002.
Did you also examine the door trim around the front door to apartment number 12 and the inside of apartment number 12 belonging to Joyce Butler and Joseph Butler?
Yes, I did.
Did the Butlers allow you and your team to go in and look around and do whatever you needed to do?
Yes, they did.
And where was their apartment in relation to Theresa Green's apartment, apartment 11?
Right across the hall.
Were photographs also taken of the Butler's residence in the door trim?
Yes.
See, he just said were photographs taken. I want to see photographs. Maybe I spoke too soon.
Yes, I recognize these.
And generally, what do those photographs show?
It shows the front door to the apartment, which is apartment 12. And it shows the door trim with a stain on the door. And then there's a bluish floor mat on the floor with a stain.
And do those photos fairly and accurately depict the appearance of the door as well as the items you just mentioned in apartment number 12?
Yes.
This time state would move S into evidence as states 20.
Any objection? It will be admitted as states 20.
May I publish, Your Honor?
You may.
Showing you photograph 1 of states 20. What does this show?
That shows the apartment door to apartment 12.
Photograph 2 of states 20, you mentioned a mark on the door trim.
Yes.
What does this show?
This shows a little bit of red stain on the door.
And photograph 3 of states 20. Is it a close-up?
That's a close-up view of the same blood.
And did you collect samples of this stain as well?
Yes.
And did you do the phenolphthalein test to make sure it was blood before you collected it?
Yes.
Approach.
You may.
Showing you states exhibit T is in Tom for identification. Do you recognize that item?
Was there blood?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
It's got my handwriting on the front of it. It's got my initials across the seal.
And what is that item?
Blood sample from door trim at apartment 12 in the stairwell.
Is that currently sealed?
Yes, it is.
And is it substantially the same condition as when you collected it when you processed the scene? Except for some additional markings from Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
Yes.
This time, state would move states exhibit T as in Tom into evidence of 21.
Any objection?
No objection.
It will be admitted as states exhibit 21.
And we've shown you a couple items of blood samples that you collected. Were those sent to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for DNA analysis?
Yes, they were.
Did you have any involvement in the DNA analysis process at all?
No.
Showing you photo 4 of states 20. What does this show?
So this shows the floor mat on the floor, and there's a reddish stain kind of on the edge of it.
Okay. And what did you do with that stain?
I tested that for blood.
What did you find?
It was not blood.
So did you collect anything from that stain?
No.
Were you also tasked, along with other members of your crime scene team, with processing the stairwell leading up to these 2 apartments for the presence of fingerprints?
Yes.
Showing you photograph 2 of states 11, I believe. What does this show?
It
Wow,
shows
the fingerprints
stairwell
for
going
the-
up.
The stairwell? Wow, how many fingerprints are they going to get? So at least, so the Butlers, Joyce and Joseph, the daughter, Lisa, Mike, Theresa Green, you're going to get Octavius because he lives there. Octavius's grandma, then Lisa's son, Joyce's son, oh gosh, and whoever else, right?
To apartment 12 and apartment 11.
Can you describe for the jury your training experience in attempting to lift fingerprints?
Okay, so I've probably worked over 1,000 crime scenes in the last 30-some years. I've made over 1,000 identifications to fingerprints over those years. I've had approximately more than 1,000 hours of advanced crime scene processing and techniques training. I've also got a bachelor's degree in criminal justice.
So you're trained in the process that you go about when you're trying to lift fingerprints.
Yes.
Now, are there different methods that you can use depending on where the fingerprint is located?
Yes.
Okay. You're trained in all those methods?
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain for the jury using the photo generally, what areas did you attempt to lift fingerprints from?
Honestly, I really don't recall. Can I look at the, do you have the latent
I
print
do.
cards? Okay,
We'll do
because
that
that would
for
refresh my
you.
memory.
Nay.
So you have to mark the states that you for identification and recognize that.
Yes.
And what is that item purport to be?
5 latent print cards. Says it was submitted by me, but I didn't submit them.
Well, in that packaging, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Can you open that packaging up, look inside, and tell me if you recognize the contents?
Okay.
Doesn't he have to wear gloves?
All right, so I'll repackage and different packages to make sure the safety of it.
Yes.
You recognize the contents.
We didn't hear you, Mr. Prosecutor.
Yes.
How do you recognize the contents?
It's got my handwriting on the back of the latent print cards. It's also got my initials across the latent print tape on the card.
And how many fingerprint cards are in there?
There's a total of 5.
And are they in the same or substantially the same condition as when you collected them or in the processing of this?
Yes.
This time, state would move you into evidence at state 22.
It will be admitted
Okay.
as states 22.
You mentioned the word latent. When you talk about fingerprints. What is a latent fingerprint?
A latent fingerprint is a fingerprint that is left behind onto a surface. So all humans have raised fingerprint ridges on the tips of their fingers and on the palms of their hands. Whenever you place your hand down onto a hard surface and you lift it back up, what's left on the surface is going to be an impression of those fingerprints from normally sweat on the palms or the fingertips of your hands. So the print that's left on the surface is considered a latent fingerprint.
Does that mean you can't see it with the naked eye usually?
Usually,
Okay. What method do you use or did you use to actually recover that fingerprint from the surface of the stairwell area?
okay, for these fingerprints, I use black powder. It's made by the Searchy company. All fingerprint companies have different types of fingerprint powders, but this was a black powder I used. And so I use a fiberglass brush, and very lightly I go over the fingerprint after I dip it into the fingerprint powder. I go over the surface area very lightly, and then the fingerprint powder will adhere to the ridges on the fingerprint.
So the powder kind of holds onto the oils that are left in the fingerprint itself.
Yes, that's
And
correct.
then once you dust the powder on it and see that there's a print there, how do you go about taking it from the surface and putting it on part?
Okay, so then I use fingerprint tape, and I put it over the top of the fingerprint. I smooth it out, and then I lift it back up and I place it on a white fingerprint card, which would be like this.
And did you follow that process for each of those 5 fingerprint cards?
Yes, I did.
Did you also note on each of those fingerprint cards from where the fingerprint came?
Yes.
Can you describe generally where did those 5 fingerprint cards come from?
From the door trim of apartment 11, the doorway, the east wall of the stairwell. That was near apartment 11. West wall of the stairway at the top of the stairs. The west wall of the stairway at the top of the stairs. And on the east wall of the stairway at the top of the stairs.
So it appears most of these were on the top of the stairwell up by where the doors to each apartments are.
Yes.
Once you collect these fingerprints, are they sent to the fingerprint unit for analysis?
Yes, the fingerprint unit at the Orlando Police Department.
Do you have any involvement in the actual analysis or comparison of these prints to any known prints of individuals?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor. Thank you, sir.
Cross-examination.
Afternoon, Mr. Thomas.
Good afternoon.
As you sit here today, do you have independent recollection of doing the things that you did in this case?
Kind of.
Vaguely remember the location of where it was?
Yes, I do know the location of where it was.
It
You,
was
testified on direct
24 years
examination
ago.
that you didn't have anything to do with the matching portion. Once you take a DNA sample or what you suspect to be blood, and then you send it off to FDLE, they're the ones who determine if it matches somebody in their system
Yes, that's correct.
or a known sample that they might have.
Yes,
And it's important that you get in a situation like this, that you're trying to rule people in or out, depending on whether that's their sample. It's important to get samples from as many people as possible, correct?
yes,
And you don't know, as you sit here, who those samples may or may not have matched to.
that's correct.
Likewise, with the fingerprints on the stairwell, you lift them, put them on the cards, send them off to the fingerprint matching department, and they're the ones who actually do the matching.
Yes, that's correct.
They compare ridges and points and islands, all of the things that are looked at when we look at fingerprints.
Yes, that's correct.
And as you sit here today, you have no idea who, if any of those fingerprints matched anyone.
Yes, you're correct. I don't know.
That's all I have.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Any questions from the jury? I see none. Is this witness excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are free to go, sir. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a brief recess so that we can check the AV. I'm going to give you the same instructions I've given you before. Do not discuss the case among yourselves. Don't discuss it with anyone else. Do not do any independent research while you're away from us. Leave your pads and pens on the.
Okay, they're going to take a break. We got a lot of Zoom room while they figure out the tech stuff. These witnesses are coming in really quickly, and they're just like coming in to bring in evidence. But my thoughts or process, and maybe yours as well, is Mike was known to be in the Butler's apartment. He was known to be inside her apartment. So fingerprints, we already know that he was there. So if his fingerprints are there, we know that he's inside the place. Remember that the defense said that there's no DNA to corroborate whether or not okay, I'm thinking this is where we're going to start off. Whether or not Mike Hunter did something to Theresa. I know we're not there yet. I got to be patient. So we'll see. But I'm going with an open mind that I don't know yet. All right. So Marissa Kuzman. Kuzma.
State your name and spell your last name to the court reporter, please.
There we go.
My name is Marissa Kuzma, K-U-Z-M-A. Thank you. Mr. Buxton, you may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you please introduce yourself again to the jury?
Marissa Kuzma,
Where do you work now?
the Orlando Police Department.
What do you do for them?
I am currently an investigator in the cold case homicide unit.
And currently, today is February 17th. It's my understanding at the time of this trial, you're going to be out of the country.
That's correct.
Okay. How long have you worked for the Orlando Police Department?
Um, It'll be 25 years this year.
What do you do on a day-to-day basis now in the cold case unit?
We review all our cold case homicides and try to bring them to a resolution.
How long have you been doing that job?
Since 2023.
Before you were in the cold case unit at the Orlando Police Department, what did you do?
I was a crime scene investigator.
What did that involve?
That involves, our responsibility was to respond to crime scenes, document, collect, process, and preserve physical evidence.
Can you describe your training experience that allowed you to do that job?
At that time, I had been certified in crime scene technology through St. Petersburg College, and I had an extensive field training program with the Orlando Police Department.
How long did you do that job with the Orlando Police Department?
CSI, 22 years.
Were you trained in the different methods of collecting different pieces of evidence?
Yes,
And during the course of your career as a crime scene investigator at Orlando Police Department, were you tasked with prosecuting or with processing homicide scenes?
yes.
Can you ask me about how many?
During that course of time of my career, approximately 100.
When you're working a more complex scene like a homicide scene, it's common for you to work in teams with other crime scene investigators.
Yes.
Why is that?
We have no tasks to do, we kind of divide and conquer, excuse me. There may be more than one location that needs to be processed, and it's always good to have extra eyes.
When you were processing a crime scene and collecting evidence, do you usually have the benefit of a full and complete investigation at that time?
No.
Why not?
A full investigation can take months, so we go in at the beginning of the investigation, and we rarely have much information at the time that we respond.
As a result of you being called out to the scene very early on in the investigation, do you often end up collecting items of evidence that have no relevance or no bearing on the case? Just to be safe.
Yes, quite often.
Let me direct your attention to Monday, May 27th of 2002. Did you respond to the Bay Run Apartments located at 3216 Cornell Avenue?
Yes,
And did you specifically go to apartment number 11?
yes.
Where was that apartment located?
It was on the second floor of the building, it was on 2 floors, and it was on the left-hand side.
And whose apartment was apartment number 11?
Theresa Green,
What was your purpose of going there?
to document the scene, the apartment.
And when you say document the scene, what does that involve?
And my role that night was to take photographs.
Did you go there alone or with another crime scene investigator?
I was with another private investigator,
Who was that?
CSI Lewis King.
When you arrived there, was that scene at the apartment complex in the area locked off or secured in some way?
Yes,
How was that done?
responding officers stretched yellow crimson tape to keep unauthorized persons out of the scene.
And was that tape already up when you arrived?
Yes, sir.
And was there a law enforcement officer there to make sure no unauthorized people went into that crime scene?
Yes,
You said a few minutes ago that your primary duty, or one of your duties there, was to take photographs of the scene. Did you do that?
yes, sir.
May I approach her? Show me what the previously marked states exhibit A for identification.
Photographs.
Exhibit, and let me know if you recognize what it shows.
Photographs. I kind of wish that she would have kind of gone first, and then they could have showed Octavius and said, like, what's different in your apartment? Was this hole there? Was this hole there? I mean, he already said there was a hole, but we'll see.
Yes, those are photos of that I took at the scene.
Do those photos fairly accurately depict what the scene looked like, as well as some of the items inside apartment number 11?
Yes, sir.
This time, state will move states exhibit A into evidence of state 1.
No objection, Your Honor.
It will be admitted as Stacy Exhibit 1.
It's a composite of 15 photos. May I publish?
May.
Showing you photograph 1 of stage 1. May I turn around?
Oh.
A little bit.
We're not going to be able
Oh,
to
I'm
see
sorry.
that.
What does it show?
That is the entrance to the 4 apartments in that area.
We see some yellow tape strung across the center of that photograph. What is that?
That's the yellow crimson tape that officers.
We also see some white paper leading up the staircase. What is that?
That is paper that we put down
What's the purpose of doing that?
to avoid tracking any debris or anything into the scene.
And you said apartment number 11 was upstairs.
Correct.
Showing you photograph 2 of stage 1. What does it show?
That is the top of the stairway, and the apartment in question is on the left.
Photograph 3 of stage 1. What is this?
That's the apartment number on the exterior of the front door.
Did you see any damage to the exterior of the door or the door jamb into apartment number 11?
No,
Any indication the door had been broken or forced open in any way?
no, sir.
Is that door the only way to get into apartment number 11?
Yes,
When you arrived, did you at some point go inside apartment number 11?
yes.
Generally, can you describe for the jury what the inside of that apartment looked like? Was it clean? Was it orderly? Was it really messy?
It was very clean and orderly. Nothing was out of place that I saw other than a couple of.
Okay, we'll get to those things in a few minutes. Showing you photograph 4 of states 1, referring to the master bedroom. What did you notice on the bed of the master bedroom?
In the master bedroom, that everything was neat and orderly, the bed was made, there was a purse and the contents of the purse scattered on the bed.
Showing you photograph 5 of states 1. What does it show?
That was the purse that was on the bed, along with other items that were scattered about.
Photograph 6 of states 1. What do we see here?
Still more contents of the purse.
And we see a driver's license at the bottom of that photo. Whose license was that?
Theresa Green.
Showing you photograph 7. What are we looking at here? What part of the house is this?
That is, as I was standing inside the master bedroom, looking out into the hallway.
And did you notice anything significant in the hallway that you documented?
Yes, there was a hole in the hallway wall.
Was this a small hole or was it a relatively large hole?
It's relatively large.
So you are the photographer. Are you in the same room as the previous photos where we saw the purse, the items in the bed?
Yes, sir.
Showing you photograph 8 of stage 1. What do we see here?
That's the hole in the hallway wall.
Did you measure the size and location of the damage to that wall?
Yes, sir.
How do you do that?
We have measuring sticks that we had used at that time.
Showing you photograph 9 of stage 1, that portion of the hole that we saw in the previous photo. How, the deepest portion of that hole, how high above the ground was that?
At the beginning of it, the lowest point was about 19 inches.
Photograph 10 of stage 1, what does it show?
That is the top of the hole from the ground,
About how far was the top of the hole from the ground?
about 43.
Did you measure that size of the hole horizontally as well?
Yes,
Showing you photo 11, how far from the door jamb did that hole begin?
it was only about an inch or so.
And photograph 12 of stage 1, how far did it extend from the door jamb?
Okay. Speculation here. Does that look like it's a head? You know, like an imprint of a head? Asking for a friend.
About 16 inches.
Showing you photo 8 of stage 1 again. So based on your measurements, was the hole about 16 inches wide and about 24 or so inches tall?
Yes,
Did you also, you mentioned you also went into the master bedroom? Did you go into the master bathroom as well?
it was the hallway bathroom, yes.
Showing you photograph 13 of stage 1. What do we see here?
No,
That
go
is,
back.
A view of
Go
the
back.
hallway bathroom and a
Go back.
lady's gold watch.
Photograph 14 of stage 1. What's the show?
That is another view of that gold watch. It appeared that the band was broken.
What about photograph 15 of stage 1?
That was the other end of the gold watch.
Did you collect, at this point, did you collect any of these items of evidence that we have looked at, such as the gold watch?
No,
Why not?
we had a jurisdictional conflict at the time.
What do you mean by that?
While we were at the scene, the victim's body had been located and it was in another city. So we weren't sure which agency was going to be investigating
And where was the victim's body located?
in Stanford, Florida.
Was it in a car?
Yes, sorry.
That's okay. Did you eventually go out, and we're getting this a little bit, did you eventually go out and process the vehicle and the vehicle in which the victim's body was found?
Yes,
All right, we'll talk about that later on. So based on this potential jurisdictional conflict of not knowing which agency is going to investigate the case, what did you do?
at the time, it was cleared up relatively quickly. So within an hour or so, another CSI and I went up to Stanford.
Okay, so you guys were in the apartment looking around, photographing, documenting things, and you learned of this potential, the finding of the victim's body. Did you guys back out of the apartment?
Yes, we were estimating.
Okay. When you, and I'm assuming the whole team vacated, right?
Yes,
When you and the other crime scene investigators exited that apartment, was the apartment left secured somehow?
yes.
How?
It was, I remember if we put the tape up, there was a crime scene tape still across that apartment door and officers were led on scene as well.
Let me direct your attention to the next day. This will be Tuesday, May 28th, 2002. Did you and other crime scene investigators return to that same apartment complex to continue processing the scene?
Yes, in early morning hours.
Who would the main crime scene investigator be that was in charge of kind of directing your paperwork?
Karen Livengood.
What was your role that second day, that morning, Tuesday morning?
I assisted in processing the stairwell area for latent fingerprints.
Showing you photograph 2 again, stage 1, is this the stairwell you're talking about?
Yes,
Can you describe for the jury your training and experience in processing something for fingerprints?
again, I had a lot of practical training in school and then in my field training with OPD as well as all the scenes that I responded to, I had a lot of experience.
OPD is Orlando Police Department.
Yes.
Can you explain to the jury the process that you go through when you're trying to lift fingerprints or something like that?
Fingerprint powder is applied to the surface and that powder will adhere to moisture or oils in the residue and it makes the print visible. And from there, a clear tape is laid across the print tape is lifted and placed on the back of the card.
If you are successful in lifting a fingerprint using the method you just described, are you the person that would examine that fingerprint to see if it has sufficient detail to allow it to be compared to somebody's known fingerprints?
No, sir.
Does somebody else in your agency do that?
Yes.
From what areas did you attempt to process or lift latent fingerprints in the stairwell?
And most of them were upstairs, outside apartment 11 and 12 and that back wall there.
And apartment 11, I think you said earlier, is upstairs on the left.
Correct.
Where's apartment number 12?
Directly across.
And then that back wall that we see in the photograph with the fire extinguisher is?
Yes.
Were you able to lift any fingerprints from that area you just described?
Yes.
How many?
Great.
And where were those 3 fingerprints?
One was on the door frame, the inner edge of the door frame of apartment 11. Same with apartment 12, the inner edge of the door frame, and then the south wall there.
May I approach you?
Okay.
Showing you what's marked, it states as if B is in boy. Can you take a look at that item and tell me if you recognize it?
Not the packaging itself, it's been repackaged.
Can you open that up, look inside, and tell me if you recognize the contents.
Yes,
What's inside?
there were the 3 latent lift cards that I had submitted to the agent.
You recognize those?
I do.
How do you recognize them?
My handwriting as well as my initials and the date.
Your name currently is Kuzma, your last name?
Yes,
What was your name back when you processed this scene?
Gerber,
Okay.
with baby food.
Do those fingerprint cards, are they in the same or substantially the same condition as when you collected them that day?
Yes, sir.
This time statement would be, and evidence the states to your honor.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
We received the states too.
And I believe you said earlier, someone else would have been in charge of doing any kind of comparison and be done with fingerprints, right?
That's correct.
No further questions at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Pereira?
Just very briefly, in the sequence of photographs that showed the bathroom with a watch in it, was I mistaken, or did it appear that in the first image, the watch was laying on its side, and then in subsequent images, the watch was laid flat?
You're correct, yes.
And did you do that?
I did,
And what was the purpose of doing that?
to show the broken band.
Okay, thank you, that's all I have.
No, Your Honor.
All right, and this witness be released.
At this time, yes, Your Honor, she'll be recalled.
Okay, so she's going to be recalled. Okay, so she was interesting, right? Because they had initially gone to the scene and she took all the photographs, and then they didn't collect anything because Theresa's body had been located. So then they put a pause because they weren't sure which agency was going to take over, whether it was going to be the one from, I want to say Stanford, or whether it was still them. And then eventually it's them now. So now when she comes back, her job is to dust for fingerprints, but the guy already dusted for fingerprints in the hallway. Redundant, I don't know. We'll see. All right. So she was the state's witness
All right.
number 8. She's going to be recalled.
Your Honor, since we have the AD working properly now, I'm going to ask you to publish out of order, publish the second half of her testimony.
What are we doing now? I don't know what we're doing.
Thank you, Ms. Guzman. You are already under oath.
Oh,
You please
did we
restate your
call
name.
her?
Marissa Kusa.
The last time
Okay.
you testified, you spoke about going to the Bay Run apartment complex and processing that scene on Monday, May 27th, 2002.
Correct.
After your initial processing of the scene, you photographed and documented things, you left that scene and you went someplace else, right?
Yes,
Where'd you go?
we went to Sanford.
When would you have gone to Sanford in relation to when you went to the scene, the apartment scene?
When I initially went to the scene and backed out, it was within maybe an hour of that I went to Sanford.
So would you have gone to Sanford that same day, or would it be early the next morning on Tuesday?
It was after midnight.
So let me direct you to the early morning hours now of Tuesday, May 28th, 2002. Did you respond to a Walgreens parking lot located at 2501 South?
see, it's interesting to be a crime scene person. And can you just like imagine that you're at one scene trying to process it and then another scene pops up? You have to stop, or you're directed to stop what you're doing here and being redirected over there. It's interesting to see that happened in the Brian Walsh case where the CSI tech was going through his vehicle, had to stop, and then went to the trash transporter area to go sift through that. So just interesting.
French Avenue in Sanford.
Yes,
About how far away is that Walgreens from the apartment scene? I don't know exactly, just
I'm not
5 minutes, 30 minutes?
sure. It's, I would say 20, 25.
When you arrived at the Walgreens parking lot, what did you find?
A white Oldsmobile was parked in the parking lot.
Were other law enforcement officers already there?
Yes,
And what was your purpose in going to that Walgreens parking lot?
myself and another CSI were there to document the vehicle and recover that vehicle.
Was that vehicle, that white Oldsmobile, photographed while in the Walgreens parking lot?
Yes,
And was it also then later towed to the evidence yard of Orlando Police Department for further processing?
yes.
Did you personally take photographs there?
I took photographs at Johnson's Record Service.
Okay.
Yes.
Approaching anyone? Show me what you marked the state C for identification. It's a composite exhibit containing 15 photos. Take a look at that, tell me if you recognize them.
Now, we might not see these photos. Why? Because, first of all, you don't want to see them. If it's a deceased person, it's have some dignity, etc. We just don't need to see those. However, the jury does need to see them. We, as the public, don't need to see them. So if we don't see them, great. We shouldn't see them. The courtroom might see them, but the court reporter, is supposed to not, the courtroom camera person
Generally,
isn't
what do those
supposed to.
photographs show?
The vehicle at Walgreens and then also at Johnson's Record Service.
Do those photographs fairly and accurately depict the vehicle you found at Walgreens as well as the contents of that vehicle?
Yes.
This time, state would move C into evidence. It states 3.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
It will be admitted as stage 3.
Yeah, I told you.
You may.
Showing you photograph 1 of stage 3. What do we see here?
This is the white Oldsmobile that is parked in the parking lot of Walgreens.
Was that trunk already open when you arrived?
Yes, sir.
Was it your understanding that law enforcement had already arrived there and opened the trunk before you got there?
Yes.
Showing you photo 2 of stage 3. Did you see any damage to the passenger window, the vent type window in the car?
Yes, that window was broken out.
Showing you photograph 3 of stage 3. What do we see on the ground on the passenger side of the car?
That's part of the broken window that had been removed.
Did you come to learn that law enforcement and the fire department broke that window to gain access to the vehicle?
Yes.
Oh,
Showing you photo 4 of stage 3. What do we see here?
That is a dismantled, well, that's the trunk lid of the vehicle and a broken lock.
Did you also learn that law enforcement had broken that lock to gain access to the trunk?
Yes.
Photograph 5 of stage 3. What does this show?
That is the locking mechanism that we found on the roof of the vehicle.
Photograph 6 of stage 3. What do we see here?
That's an overall view of the open trunk and its contents.
Generally, what was found in the trunk? What do we see in the photo?
There is various items, but there's a floral sheet towards the front of the trunk.
Showing you photo 7 of stage 3. Is this just a close-up?
Yes,
What was done generally with the contents of the trunk? Was it everything eventually removed?
yes.
And specifically the sheet, the object wrapped in a sheet, what was done with that object?
Once the medical examiner's office arrived, that object was removed from the vehicle. It was placed on a white sterile sheet from the medical examiner's office.
Did you come to learn what was located wrapped inside that floral sheet?
Yes, it was the victim's body.
Photograph 8 of stage 3, what do we see here?
That's the trunk, the empty trunk, once everything was removed, for the most part.
In photograph 9, you mentioned that once the medical examiner's office arrived, the victim's body, still wrapped in a sheet, was placed on a sterile bag.
Bag, shroud, yes.
What was done with the victim's body?
The victim was transported by the medical examiner's office to the medical examiner's office.
When she had been transported, still wrapped in that floral comforter?
Yes.
Did you have any involvement in the transportation of the victim's body to the medical examiner's office?
No.
What was done at this point with the Oldsmobile?
Everything was closed, it was sealed and towed to Johnson's Record Service.
And what is Johnson's Record Service? Why was it taken there?
That is the company that we use for all our tows.
How was the vehicle sealed or closed up during that transport process?
It is sealed with tamper evident frangible tape.
Is the place where the vehicle was towed, is that a secure facility?
Interesting. We're going to go back over that again. This was in 2002. It was sealed.
Taken there.
That is the company that we use for all our tows.
How was the vehicle sealed or closed up during that transport process?
It is sealed with tamper evident frangible tape.
Is the place where the vehicle was towed, is that a secure facility?
Yes.
And who has access to that facility?
The Johnson's River employees and law enforcement.
Why was the car taken there instead of just processing it?
This is 2002 in Florida. In Karen Reed's case, I believe that was 2018. I'm not 100% sure. Don't come for me. No, that wasn't 2022. Okay, we got to quickly Google. January 29th, 2022. I realized there was a blizzard and I realized there was a storm. Could they have cleaned off the car and with the snow and wrapped it? I don't know. There has to be a better way to collect evidence during a snowstorm. I know there's nothing's perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. But just listening to this testimony and you compare it to the other testimonies, you wonder.
Old car at Walgreens.
To preserve.
By the way, if you don't know the Karen Reed story, Karen Reed was tried twice for unaliving her Boston cop boyfriend by hitting him with her car, or backing up with her car and hitting him. The first one was a mistrial, second one was she was acquitted. There was some engineers who were hired by the FBI to come in to see whether or not Karen's car did actually strike him. And they said unequivocally, no. And also that there were no injuries on John's body that were indicative of a car crash. But the police felt it was her and seized her car instantly around 4:35 that afternoon. after Dawn had been found at 6 a.m. in the morning. So that evening, they seized her car. It was during a snowstorm in Boston, and there's a lot of controversy over police being biased and collecting evidence, etc. So whenever we move forward now, since that trial, we kind of compare what were the standards of one police department versus another during these times. And this was 2002 with a vehicle. So you be the judge.
Vehicle and any evidence.
Let me direct your attention now to the next day, May 29th. Did you do some further processing of this file?
Yes, sir.
And where was that done?
That was done at Johnson Services.
Showing me photograph 10 of State's Exhibit 3. Did you document the VIN number associated with the vehicle?
Yes.
This time around, the state removed State's Exhibit D as a dog, and evidence of State's 4 is the tag and title history associated with this vehicle, and the VIN number is a self-authenticating document.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
It will be received as State's Exhibit 4.
May I approach?
You may.
Showing you the official tag and title history of that vehicle. There's a VIN number associated with these official records. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Is that the same VIN number that you documented in your photographs of this white Oldsmobile?
Yes, it is.
Read the first page of this item. According to the official Department of Highway Safety Motor Vehicle records, who is the registered owner of this vehicle?
It is Theresa Green.
Showing you photograph 11 of State's 3. Did you locate some additional glass inside the vehicle from that front passenger broken window?
Yes, sir.
Did you process this vehicle for the presence of fingerprints?
I did.
And what method did you use to do that?
Again, it was the fingerprint powder.
Were you able to locate any fingerprints?
Yes.
From where was that print collected?
That was the interior left rear door.
Approach. Showing you State's Exhibit E for identification. Can you take a look at that item? Open it up, look inside, tell me if you recognize the contents. Is that item currently sealed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just like the other fingerprint evidence we looked at earlier was sealed.
Yes, correct. Okay.
You recognize what's inside?
I do.
What is it?
Again, it's the late live card that I submitted to the late break.
How do you recognize that part?
Again, my handwriting and my initials.
Spend your former name and forever on it?
Yes, sir.
Is that in the same, substantially the same condition when you collected it and during your processing of this Oldsmobile?
Yes.
This time State removed State's E into evidence as State's 5, I believe.
Any objection? It will be admitted as State's 5.
Like the other prints that you lifted from the apartment scene, did you have any involvement in the analysis or comparison of this print?
No, sir.
Showing you photograph 12 of State's 3. Did you further examine and document the items that were inside the trunk?
Yes, sir.
What does it show?
And again, the open trunk and items within, a green tote, some other items.
Showing you photo 13 of State's 3, mentioned green tote.
Yes.
Showing you 14 of State's 3. What was inside the tote?
Car jack and some other fuels.
Did you also locate a sun shield in the trunk of the car?
Yes.
Showing you photograph 15 of State's 3. What does this show?
That is a close-up view of some suspected blood stains on that sunshade.
Did you collect that sunshade?
I did.
Describe how you collected it. What was your process?
Once it was documented in place, it was placed into a paper bag, transported to the police department.
May I approach one last time? Robert?
You may.
Showing you what's been marked for identification in State's Exhibit F is in frame. Can you take a look at that item and tell me if you recognize it?
I do.
That item also sealed.
Yes, sir.
How do you recognize that item?
Again, my handwriting initials.
Can you open it up, look inside, tell me if you recognize the contents? I'm not gonna have you take that out since we have a photograph of it. So, ignore that. You can open it up inside, I'm not gonna ask you to prove it.
You do want to go?
Yes, ma'am. You recognize it?
Yes, sir.
Is that item in the same, substantially the same conditions when you collected in the front of that old school?
Yes,
This time State Moving States Exhibit F for identification of the evidence as 6.
any objection?
No objection, Your Honor, but I'd like to just quickly see what's in there. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
It will be received as State's Exhibit 6.
Was that item later sent to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for DNA analysis on that blood stain?
Yes.
Did you have any involvement in the analysis of that blood stain at all?
No.
Is there anything else relevant that you found in the trunk? Okay, no further questions this time. Thank you, ma'am.
Examination.
Excuse me, it looked in earlier photographs of the trunk of the car that the items, including the large green tote, had been moved around and then they were removed. Is it correct?
I'm sorry, at what point?
Well, so there are images of the trunk, that first with the body in the trunk, in the green tote towards the front of the trunk.
Yes.
And then later on, the tote appears to have been moved after the body was removed from the trunk, is that correct?
Correct.
And did you do that?
No, it would have shifted when it was transported, when it was loaded onto the,
Oh, okay, all right, so that's how it looked when it arrived at Johnson's record.
yes,
And then did you remove any of the items from the trunk after you had photographed them,
at Johnson's.
Yes.
I removed the sunshade that I had collected.
but not the tote?
I believe I had moved things to photograph the trunk, but no, I did not remove that or collect it.
Okay, all right, thank you, that's all I have.
Any regret?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
May this witness be excused.
She may, Your Honor.
You are free to go, ma'am. Thank you.
Excuse me,
Your Honor, the next witness is a witness who's appearing virtually, but won't take a break. She's online, ready to go. But I'm not sure if phone issue needs to be tested first.
Yes, probably so. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a brief time in the jury room. Do not discuss the case among yourselves. Don't discuss it with anyone else. Do not do any independent research while you're away from us. Leave your pads and pens on the chairs. They will be there when you return.
Okay, they're going to take a small break to locate whatever witness that they're looking for. I'm going to try to put my thing in here. My earbuds are giving me a hard time. All right, let's zoom, and let's see if we can wrap this up. Okay. We've got no sound. Oh, here we go. Jury wasn't in. All right, so we're doing a Zoom testimony. This is going to be witness number 9.
Thank you for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. We got the very frustrating technical problems resolved. Mr. Buxman, you may call your next witness.
The state calls Joyce Butler.
Ms. Butler, could you raise your right hand to be sworn, please? Do you
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Thank you. You may, could you state your name? Put your hand down. Could you state your name and spell your last name, please?
Joyce Butler, Butler.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Buxman.
Good afternoon, Ms. Butler.
How you doing?
Not too bad. I heard that you got sick this weekend, so I hope you're feeling a little better.
Yes.
Okay. What do you do for a living now, ma'am?
I don't do nothing.
You retired?
I'm retired.
Okay.
Yes.
Where did you work before you retired?
I work at Florida Hospital.
Okay. What did you do for the hospital when you worked there?
Housekeeping?
Do you know a man named Joseph Butler?
Yes,
Who is he in relation to you?
that's my husband.
Okay. Let me direct your attention back to May of 2002. Did you live in the Bay Run Apartments located at 3216 Cornell Avenue?
Yes,
And did you guys live in apartment 12 then?
yes.
Who'd you live there with?
Me and Joe,
Did you live upstairs or downstairs?
upstairs.
Did you know a woman named Theresa Green when you lived there?
Yes.
And prior to her death, how long had you known Miss Green?
Oh, I think a long time,
Okay,
but I don't remember.
that's fair. It's been a while. It's okay. Where did she live in relation to your apartment?
She's still on the second floor, across from me.
Okay. I'm going to direct your attention to late Saturday night, May 25th of 2002 into Sunday morning. Was there kind of a get together at your apartment there?
Yes, but you know, we really didn't have the party.
What about the party? I didn't hear you.
I said, we really didn't have it.
Okay. Or did people come over to your place that night though?
Yes, it did.
Okay. And who was there at your apartment that night?
It was me and Joe and one of his friends.
Was Miss Green there also?
No, no.
At some point, did Miss Green come to your house for this get together with a guy named Mike?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember if Miss Green and Mike were dating or together at around that time?
I really don't know.
Okay, that's okay. So did you have to go to work the next morning early?
Yes.
Okay, and at some point, what happened with the party? Did you kind of shut it down?
Yeah, we shut it down.
All right, tell me what happened when the party was shut down. Did anything happen between your husband, Joe, and Miss Green?
Well, she slapped Joe in the face.
Okay.
And Joe said, you know, why you slap me in the face like that? I guess she was kind of, you know, drunk.
Okay, and did Joe slap her back?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He slapped her back.
At some point, did there come a time where somebody fell down the stairs?
Both of them fell down the stairs.
Okay, tell me what happened.
I guess they was drinking and they both fell down the stairs.
Okay, who fell down?
Theresa and what's that guy name? I don't know the guy name.
The guy with Theresa, is that Mike?
Yeah, Mike.
Okay, so
They
did
both fell down the stairs.
okay, did you see that happen?
Yes, I did.
All right, what happened when they reached the bottom of the stairs? Was anybody hurt?
Nope.
What did you see them do after they reached the bottom of the stairs?
They went back to the apartment,
Whose apartment?
Teresa's apartment.
The one right across from yours.
Yes.
I understand. Did you see Theresa Green again after that day or that evening?
I really don't know.
Back then, do you remember what kind of vehicle Mike was driving?
I think it was a white car. I'm not sure.
Did he have a van also?
Yeah, he had a van.
Okay, so he had a van. Who had the white car? Whose car was that?
Teresa?
So let me move ahead a few hours. Early Sunday morning.
Uh-huh.
Did you see Mike early the next morning, several hours after the party?
No.
Do you remember, did Mike ever come to your apartment the next morning and ask Joe to help do something?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what happened.
I guess he asked Joe to follow him to the car.
To follow him?
Yes, they went they went somewhere.
Okay. And did Joe agree to do that and follow Mike?
Yes.
What vehicle did Joe drive? Do you know?
No.
You don't know whether he drove the van or the white car?
I think he drove the van. I'm not sure.
Okay. Did you ever see Theresa Green with Mike the next morning when Joe followed him in the van?
No. I didn't see him.
At some point, did your husband come back from wherever they went?
Yeah, he
Okay.
came back.
Okay. Do you remember about how long he was gone?
I don't know.
Okay, it's been a while. At some point, did law enforcement or the police come and talk to you and interview you?
Yes,
When the police talked to you the first time, did you tell them anything about Joe following Mike in the car that morning?
yes.
Okay. Did you tell them that the first time?
Because Mike, the first time, Mike came to the door and he opened he came to the door and knocked on the door. He said he wanted to ask Joe something.
Okay.
He wanted to ask Joe to follow him.
And do you remember if you told the police that the first time they talked to you, or was it the second time, or do you remember?
I think it was the second time.
Okay. Do you remember why you didn't tell them about that the first time they talked to you?
No, I didn't tell him that.
Okay. Do you know why you didn't tell them that?
Nope.
Okay. When the police came to your apartment, did they ask permission to go inside your apartment and look around?
Yes.
Did you let them do that?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, a few days later, did you also talk to a female detective who showed you some pictures of some people?
Yes.
Do you remember being able did you pick out the person that you knew as Mike from those different photographs?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Butler. I don't have any questions, but don't hang up because the defense lawyer has some questions for you probably too, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Mr. Marrero?
Good afternoon, Mrs. Butler. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you see me? I'm not sure you can. I can't tell.
No, I can't see you. but
Oh, you
can
can?
see me.
Okay, good. Ms. Butler, did
Yes.
you have the opportunity to read statements that you gave back in the day when this case first happened, back in 2002, that were recorded and then transcribed? Did you ever have the chance to read those?
I don't remember.
And how about a deposition that you gave in 2015? It was kind of long. And did you ever read through that deposition?
Maybe. I'm
Maybe.
not sure.
I don't mean to embarrass you by asking you this question, but if you did have them, could you read them? Can you read?
No, I don't have them.
I'm sorry?
I don't have them.
You don't have them. Okay.
Uh-uh.
All
It's
right.
been a long time.
I'm sorry?
I said, that's been a long time. I don't have it.
Okay. So you're just going on your memory today of what happened 24 years ago. Is that right?
Yes, that's a
Um,
long time.
Yes, ma'am. Can I ask you, what's your memory like? Is your memory still pretty good, or do you sometimes have problems remembering things now that?
Yeah, I have a problem.
Yeah. That's okay. We're all getting older and it gets harder and harder to remember stuff.
Yes, we do.
But let me just tell you that you did give statements to the police, a couple of different statements. Remember when the prosecutor asked you that the first time that you spoke to the police, you didn't tell them that Joe had gone anywhere with Mr. Hunter. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
In fact, the story you told them was that Mr. Hunter had called your house, your apartment, and told Joe that Theresa's car was in Sanford. Do you remember telling the police that?
yes,
Okay. Now that wasn't true, right?
no,
Okay. And the reason that you didn't tell the police the truth was because you didn't want them to know that Joe had been involved in whatever trouble had happened.
In case you missed some.
Joe was threatening you, or that he the two doors in your apartment?
asked to leave the room.
Do you remember what kind of vehicle Mike they went?
Embarrass you by asking. You know, like if somebody called the cops and the cops came over and there was some trouble at your apartment.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
How about a deposition that you gave in that? Can I ask you, had gone anywhere with Mr. Hunter? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Okay. In fact, the story you told him was that Mr. Hunter had called your house, your apartment, and told Joe that Theresa's car was in Sanford. Do you remember telling the police that?
yes,
Okay. Now that wasn't true, right?
no,
Okay. And the reason that you didn't tell the police the truth was because you didn't want them to know that Joe had been involved in whatever trouble had happened. Is that right?
right,
Now, you and Joe were living in an apartment that was owned by Florida Hospital,
yes,
and they
Yes.
rented to employees of Florida Hospital.
yes,
And you believed back then that if any of you got in any kind of trouble, the Florida Hospital might, you know, like if somebody called the cops and the cops came over and there was some trouble at your apartment, that you might get thrown out of your apartment or you might even lose your job. Is that fair?
that's true.
Okay. Now, you had known Theresa for a long time. You liked her?
Yeah, I like
She
Teresa.
was a nice lady.
Teresa was a good person.
Y'all
Yes,
got along all right.
yes,
So this night that you had this get together at your house, and you know, if you don't mind my asking, how come you don't like to call it a party?
well, I really don't like, parties, I
Okay,
really don't like,
I'm just saying if people get together and they're listening to music and drinking, that sounds like a party to me. But
Yeah,
okay,
really do.
and so some people were drinking. And Judge, I would, if Your Honor, if you don't mind, I would just ask that the other witness be asked to leave the room while she's testifying. Ms. Moore,
Yes,
Ms. Moore, if you're in the room, we need you to leave. Thank you.
thank you. So on the night that this get together happened at your apartment, Miss Green was drinking, right?
yeah,
She was drinking quite a bit,
a lot.
a lot. Now you were not drinking, right?
Oh, no, I don't drink.
You don't drink, period. Okay.
No,
But Joe did back then, right?
yes,
And do you remember him drinking quite a bit that evening as well?
yeah, he was drinking.
And the Mike, Theresa's boyfriend, he wasn't drinking. Is that right?
I guess he was drinking. I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Okay, that's
No.
fine. Now, you went to bed pretty early that night because you had to work the next day, correct?
Yes,
And
yes.
and
That was on a Sunday.
was on a Sunday. So like
Yeah.
Sunday after midnight?
No, in the morning. I had to go to work in the morning time.
Yeah, okay, so, all right, I understand you now. What you're saying is that Sunday morning you had to go to work. So
Yeah.
Saturday night into Sunday morning is when everybody was over your place. Is that right?
Yes,
Now, while everybody was over, and just to be sure I got this right, it was, you were there, Joe was there, Mike was there, and Theresa was there. Is that right?
yes.
Do you remember your daughter Lisa being there? No.
I
Don't,
don't remember.
you don't remember if she was there or not?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Do you remember, and I'm asking these questions based on testimony that you've given in the past,
Yeah.
coming out at some point because the music's playing and people are talking kind of loud because people are getting drunk, coming out there to ask them to turn the music down because you can't sleep?
Yes,
Yes. Do you remember if you did that more than once?
a couple times.
A couple times. Do you remember?
I had to
that-
go to work the next morning.
I'm sorry, because you had to work the next morning. Sure. It's hard to sleep
That's
with
right.
music and loud voices in the room right next door to your bedroom, isn't it?
Yes,
Now, do you remember Joe getting angry about your telling him to turn the music down and stop talking so loud?
Yeah,
And,
I did. I
I'm
Turn the
sorry,
music down. I was trying to go to sleep.
right. And he got angry about that?
Yes,
Joe
he
did?
did.
Do you remember him slamming the door in your bedroom?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay. Now, at some point, Joe did turn the music down, right?
Yes, he did.
And told everybody that they had to go, right?
Yes. He
Now-
told me they had to leave.
When this happened, you're not in bed, right?
No, I was still up.
You're up. You're in the living room.
Yes.
Now, if I told you that this probably happened around 2:30 in the morning, would that sound about right?
Right.
So it's pretty late. You had to be at work very early the next morning.
Yes, at 7 o'clock.
And so you were in the living room when you saw Joe tell everybody that they had to leave.
Yeah, I told.
And you were in
I
the
told
living
him,
room
he
when
told me-
Theresa,
I told him, go home.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Because I was not able to hear it.
Joe told them they had to go home.
Okay. Was he kind of angry when he was saying that?
No,
No? Now,
No.
you were in the living room when you saw Theresa walk up to Joe and slap him in the face.
yeah. And Joe said, why you slap me in the face?
Right, sure. And then
Yeah.
and now and you saw Joe slap her back, right?
Yes,
Now,
Yeah.
you told Detective Bergen, who's one of the detectives that you spoke to, a woman with short hair, that when Joe smacked her, slapped Theresa, that she got a bloody nose from that. You remember telling her that?
yeah,
And that was true, right?
yes,
And then the two of them kind of started to get into it after that, right?
yes,
Theresa was pretty angry and pretty drunk, right?
yes. And then, wait a minute. And then her boyfriend,
Right.
the boyfriend say, why you let Joe snap me in the face?
You mean she said to her boyfriend, why'd you let Joe smack me in the face? Is that right?
That's right,
And that boyfriend was Mike?
Mike, that's right.
Okay. So at some point, they're out in the hallway, that little hallway between the two doors in your apartment.
Uh-huh,
And you told the prosecutor that you saw both Mike and Theresa fall down the stairs. Is that right?
yes, they did.
And,
Yes.
now when you were asked the question, you testified that they must have both been drunk and that's what caused them to fall down the stairs. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
they was drinking.
All right. And they fell all the way down to the bottom of the stairs?
Yes, all the way down.
And were they tumbling as they were coming down the stairs?
Yes, it was.
Kind of one on top of the other, kind of?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth. You were standing there and you saw them fall all the way down the stairs. Is that right?
yes, it did.
Okay.
Yes,
And then did you see them get up or did you just close the door at that point?
they got up.
Okay. And they walked
They
back,
got up and they went upstairs.
they walked back up upstairs. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
They shut the door.
when they came back up the stairs, was that the end of it for you? Did you go back into your room and into your apartment and close the door? Or
Yes, I did.
do you remember Lisa showing up at some point? Your daughter?
Yeah,
When did she come?
Yes,
After
sure.
the fall or before the fall?
yes,
After the fall?
after the fall, yeah.
Okay. Did you ever tell Lisa that Joe was threatening you or that he hit you?
No,
Were you scared of Joe doing anything like that?
No.
So, you know that Lisa got hold of your other son and he came over, and I'm sorry, I've forgotten his name. Starts with an R.
Raymond,
Raymond. And she called Raymond and Raymond came over that night?
I guess so.
You don't remember? If you don't remember, just say, I don't remember.
I don't remember that.
Okay, but you didn't tell Lisa to call Raymond, did you?
Nope,
And if Raymond did come over, it would have been after the fall, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning?
I don't remember.
Don't remember? You don't remember talking to Raymond at any point that night?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. So the second time that you talked to the detective, after she,
Was Joe ever abusive that the daughter and or son had to come over and intervene? Because I mean, I'm not, again, I don't know where we're going, but if Joe is an aggressor, right? And he slapped Theresa back, gave her a bloody nose, obviously must have been hit hard enough. And that if the daughter was worried that Joe was going to do something to mom, he could be an aggressor. He could be the person that you could pin things on, right? I don't know. I don't know. It's just remind.
you had spoken with your husband, Joe,
Uh-huh.
you told the detective that Mike came over your apartment and that he got Joe up out of bed and told him that he needed to follow him in the car. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. And
That was it. That was in the morning time.
that was in the morning. And you didn't ask
Right.
Joe where he was going.
Nope.
Now, he told you that Mike had said, or maybe you even heard Mike say, I need you to follow me and Theresa to in the van.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when Joe left, they were gone for a little bit, right?
Yes.
And he came back maybe an hour later.
Yes.
When he came back, he told you, I mean, you asked him, what was that all about? Where'd you guys go? What were you doing?
Nope.
You didn't ask him?
Uh-uh.
Did he? But at some point he told you that Mike told him, I messed up.
Yes.
And did Joe ever tell you that he was afraid that something might have happened to Theresa?
Yes.
And
And Raymond,
I'm
and the
sorry?
thing about it,
I'm sorry?
he said, I told him, I said, I don't want to hear that. What happened?
You told him that you didn't want to hear
I don't want to hear that.
that something might have happened to Theresa. You didn't want to hear that.
Yes. Yes.
And did the two of you kind of agree that you weren't going to call the police?
Nope.
You decided on your own that you weren't going to call the police.
Right.
I mean, you didn't call the police, right?
But the police came anyway.
Oh, yes, they did.
They came anyway.
But what I'm saying, they came because Octavius Hayes called them on Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
They didn't come because you called them.
No. I ain't called them.
Is that because you were afraid that if the police showed up, that they might think that your husband was involved in something?
Not really.
No? You just didn't
Mhm.
care to call the police?
Right. But they came anyway.
Oh, I know.
And really, that's a long time, you know.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, I wish she was in court. I mean, they're doing a really good, both the prosecution and the defense are doing a really good job with these witnesses who are older, who don't remember things. This was 24 years ago, and you have to be nice with them. But as the defense attorney, if you are, again, I don't know if they're implicating whether or not Joe had something to do with this or not, but they're I can see them being very honest, right? But you can get her to say what's on her mind because she doesn't look like she's holding back. But I wish she was in person because you could really, like, I guess, grill her. We'll see.
That's really a long time. I said, that's a long time. to
Ago.
remember stuff like that.
It is. But you remember today that you didn't call the police on Sunday and you didn't call the police on Monday.
No.
You spoke to the police when somebody else called them and they came to your place and asked you if you knew anything, right?
Yes, yes.
You remember a young boy by the name of Tate?
Hey,
Octavius Hayes? Does the name sound familiar?
I don't know.
Do you remember Theresa Green having a little boy
Yeah,
who lived with her?
his son.
Her son, right?
Yes.
Do you remember? You don't remember his name?
No, I don't know. I don't know his name.
Okay. Now, on Monday, he says, on Monday, he came by your apartment and asked you and Joe if you had seen his mom, right?
Yes.
You remember
he
that?
Sure did.
You sure did.
Mhm.
Because his mom's door was unlocked and he hadn't heard from her and didn't know where she was.
Right.
Now, he-
That's true now.
He was a young man at that time, right? About 13?
Yeah, 13.
And when he asked you and Joe, have you seen my mom? Both of you said, no, we ain't seen her, right?
Right, we ain't see it.
We didn't, what? Do you remember telling that young man that, no, you hadn't seen his mom and didn't have any idea where she was?
Yes, because, he was looking for his mom.
Yeah, he was.
And I told her, I said, I didn't see her.
You didn't say to him, well, she was over our place Saturday night and she fell down the stairs and any of that. You didn't tell him any of that, right?
No. Mm-mm.
Why?
When you gave a deposition, that's when you were interviewed by some lawyers, not us. You and I have never met before, but you were interviewed by some lawyers about
Mhm.
what had happened. That was in 2015. That was over 10 years ago now. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I know you told us that you haven't had the opportunity to read what you said, but the lawyer there asked you if over the 16 years that had gone by since Theresa Green went missing, if you and Joe ever talked about it, ever talked about what happened on that Sunday, and that he told you, I don't know nothing about that, right?
I guess so. I don't know.
And your response was, I don't either.
Mhm. I don't remember that.
Well, I mean, as you sit here today, you and Joe, as the years have gone by, it's been a lot longer now. As the years have gone by, you and him have never talked about what happened that Sunday morning
Mm-mm.
and how Theresa went missing.
No.
Okay. That's all I have.
Any
Yes,
redirect?
that.
Hold on just a second, ma'am.
No redirect, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Does the jury have any questions? All right, seeing none, is this witness excused?
She is, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms.
Okay,
Butler.
thank-
You are free to go.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good day.
You too now.
You may call your next witness.
State calls Howard Kuhn.
All right, I'm talking and you can't hear me. Okay. Wow, that's a lot to unpack. And you feel bad for both the prosecution and the defense because you cannot go hard on this witness. She doesn't remember. It's 24 years ago. She doesn't remember what she said back then. She doesn't remember her deposition. She knows little bits and pieces. And so, as you saw, the prosecutor quickly squinched his questions and made them like yes or no questions, right? The defense started to kind of do that. And then sometimes he would have like this very long question. And you can't do that. You have to have small, succinct questions, yes or no. Now, in the defense, he could have asked open-ended questions and she would have gone on and on and on. And he did not wait for her to answer. Like there's a lag, right? So most of the time he was talking over her and he missed, I think he missed a very good point where he could have had her go on and on and on about why she didn't want these things to happen. What did she know? But she said she went to work at 7 a.m. But isn't that approximately when he left? Because he said that the Mike knocked on his door the first time, knocked on his door again at 7. Didn't you have to go to work? You said you had to be work at 7. You could have impeached her on that. Would it have made a difference? I don't know. Because I don't know where the defense is going. I'm not sure what they're trying to say. I think maybe they're trying to say they're going to the route of there's no DNA evidence to state that he did this. I don't know. All right, here we go. This is probably the last witness for the day. Witness number 10.
I do.
Well, his name's not up there.
Are you going to be using? Okay.
I can start and
You may have.
I plugged it
I
in.
don't know what we're doing.
Okay, yeah. I wonder if they did something when they were here before. with the video.
Uh-oh, are they having tech issues again? Let's see if I can.
It's off. All right.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes. Sir, could you state your name and spell your last name for the court reporter, please?
Yes, my name is Howard, and my last name is spelled Kuehn, Kuhn.
Thank you. You may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
What do you do for a living now?
I am currently retired.
Where did you work before you retired?
I work for the Orlando Police Department.
What was your role? Well, first, when did you start working with the Orlando PD?
I started in February of 2002.
What did you do before you worked for OPD?
For OPD, I worked out at the airport for a subcontractor for Delta Airlines as a skycap.
What did you do before that?
Before that, I worked a multitude of jobs, including Orange County Sheriff's Office for a year, and prior to that, leaving high school, I worked for the FBI in Washington, D.C.
When you started with the Orlando Police Department, what was your role with the agency?
When I started, I was a crime scene technician, CST,
And when did you start again?
February 25th of 2002.
So at the time this case happened, you were new with Orlando PD.
Yes, I was in the third phase of my training.
Describe the training that you had in doing crime scene work at the point where this case occurred.
I've been shown in the first two phases of how to collect evidence, either physically or using powder to collect fingerprints that may be on something, collecting blood samples, as well as taking photographs of scenes in a particular order.
Had you done any of those duties with Orange County Sheriff's Office or with the FBI previously?
My Orange County and FBI experience were in fingerprints, but not in latent fingerprints. It was mostly inked fingerprints and just doing searches.
Can you estimate about how many, thank you, about how many crime scenes you had processed with the Orlando Police Department?
I would say in excess of 100.
Following your duties as a crime scene technician with the Orlando Police Department, what did you do then?
In December of 2004, I accepted the position of latent print examiner with the police department.
And did you do some latent fingerprint examination in this case?
Yes, I did.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. I think you're going to testify again probably tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that later. So we're going to start to do the crime scene stuff right now. Did you, because you were new with Orlando Police Department and crime scene work when this case happened, were you working with another more experienced crime scene analyst?
Yes, I was.
Who was that?
That was Karen Livengood.
And what was crime scene investigator Livengood's experience with Orlando Police Department?
I believe she had been working with Orlando Police Department for in excess of 5 years when I got there.
Is it your understanding that she has some medical problems right now?
She does, my understanding, yes.
Did you assist CSI Livengood in photographing this crime scene?
She actually photographed the scene. I helped her collect evidence and I drew a sketch of the apartment.
Did you also assist in lifting fingerprints and collecting samples for potential DNA purposes?
I did.
Okay. Describe the protocols that were in place of how you would document things that you collected at a crime scene, how you would document photographs and from where you collected evidence.
When we were collecting evidence, wherever the items were obtained from, they would be placed in a brown paper bag. And on the bag would just be written briefly what was in there and what location they were picked up at. And as far as the fingerprints go, if there were latent prints that were lifted, they were attached to a white card, about the size of an index card. And on the front, you would be able to put down the location, the case number, and all the pertinent information that we need.
When your crime scene team would collect a piece of evidence, would they take it immediately, once it was documented, photographed, and place it in an evidence bag like we've seen?
It would not be placed in that bag until we're back at the forensic lab at police headquarters.
And at that point, you said you would document where the item was collected from?
Yes, it would be just briefly written on the bag to start, and then you would fill out a form that would be attached to each evidence submission that had the exact location and where it was and what the evidence was.
Would the crime scene technician also document the case number associated with it,
Yes, everything would have been on that.
the date and time of collection,
Yes,
the description of the item?
yes,
And would the crime scene analyst who collected that piece of evidence also initial the package somehow?
they would.
How would that be done?
There'd be a piece of red and black evidence tape, very thinly placed that would tear easy. So you would place it over any seal or open edges of the envelope, and then you would initial it and also date it. So that would make sure that if anybody got into it, your initials or the date would be compromised.
Is that how you collected pieces of evidence?
Yes,
And is that also how CSI, Karen Livengood, Doug Thomas, Marissa Gerber, then now Kuzma also did that same process?
yes.
During the course of working with Karen Livengood, how long did you work with her?
I worked with her for about, I believe, 6 weeks.
And have you worked with her after you even transitioned into the fingerprint?
Yes, I would work with her anytime she submitted any fingerprint evidence that would come to my office. I would work with her in that regard.
And how long did that working relationship last? When did she retire?
I'll be honest with you, I don't remember when she retired, sir, but I believe it was maybe a couple years before I did.
Okay, so that working relationship stayed intact for many years.
Yes,
During the course of your working relationship, did you come to know her handwriting, her signature?
yes,
How she initialed her evidence packages
yes,
and how she documented certain things?
yes.
I want to direct your attention to Tuesday, May 28th, 2002, and Wednesday, May 29th, 2002. Did you respond to the Bay Run Apartments located at 3216 Cornell Avenue to assist in processing various aspects of this crime scene?
Yes, we did.
Did that process take several days?
It did.
So it's not like CSI where it's all wrapped up in a half hour?
No, it's not.
Let's start with apartment number 11, the apartment rented by Theresa Green. Did you go inside and help Karen Livengood collect and document and process various things inside that apartment?
I did.
And were photographs taken of what you all found inside that apartment?
Yes, sir.
Approach, Your Honor.
Nay.
Show me what's been marked as State's Exhibit B, as in Victor. Do you recognize those photos?
Yes, I do.
And generally, what do those photographs show?
They show miscellaneous paper items along with, I believe, a purse, as well as a watch laying on the vanity of the bathroom, and then a close-up of that watch, and then the band of that watch.
Do those photographs fairly accurately depict those items that you saw when you processed the scene?
Yes,
This time State will key into evidence as dates 23.
It will be admitted as states 23.
And may I publish?
You may.
Showing you photograph 1 from states 23. What do we see here?
again, miscellaneous paper items, a driver's license, a purse, and can't really make out what the other things are, but miscellaneous paper items.
Were these items found in the bed of the master bedroom?
Yes,
Was the black purse we see in the photograph collected?
yes, it was.
Showing you some marked states of W. You recognize this item?
Yes, I do.
Living Goods writing initials and all the other documentation on that item?
Yes, it has the evidence number, the OPD case number, her name, Detective Filippucci's name, as well as everything that was found at that location. On the back, you'll have the red tape that was spoke of that has her initials and the date. So that,
Were you present with her, helping her process and collect these items?
yes.
Can you open it up, look inside, and tell me if you recognize the contents?
Okay. Yes, everything appears to be there, yes.
What's inside?
You have her Florida driver's license,
Go ahead and keep that,
Wallet.
or just keep it in your lap.
okay, sorry,
That's okay.
and a purse,
Are they in the same or substantially the same condition as when they were collected from the apartment?
as best I remember, yes, sir.
This time state would move W into evidence as 24.
It will be admitted as State's Exhibit 24.
Were you present when Karen Livengood also collected some miscellaneous papers from the bed in the first area?
Yes,
Showing you there,
Yeah.
showing those marked spaces with that
Okay.
identification. Recognize that packaging as well as the handwriting and the initials on it.
yes, I do.
What is it?
Miscellaneous papers from black purse that was located on the bed in the southeast bedroom on apartment 11 at 3216 Cornell Avenue.
You open it up, look inside, tell me if you recognize the contents.
Yes,
What's inside generally?
paper items, receipts,
Are they in the same or substantially the same condition as when they were collected from Ms. Green's apartment that day?
they had been processed, so they are slightly different from the processing, but yes.
And what do you mean by process?
They were used, probably a chemical called anhydrine, which the paper item would be immersed in, and then given time to dry and put under light and heat, it will work with amino acids in the body, and it will bring a fingerprint up, usually magenta colored, something along those lines.
Does that change the color of some of the items?
Right, some of the colors are discolored, they're no longer white like they are in the photos.
This time state would move X into evidence as 25, Your Honor.
It will be admitted as State's Exhibit 25.
So obviously, based on your last answer, these items were taken back to the lab, processed further for the presence of fingerprints?
Yes, they were.
Were any fingerprints successfully lifted from any of these pieces of paper?
I believe there were, yes.
Okay. And in fact, were you the fingerprint analyst who later examined those and compared to the various notes?
I was.
Okay. When you process an item using the method you described, using an anhydride, we've heard about lifting fingerprints using powder. How do you document the fingerprints using this method? Do you photograph them?
Those prints that are done chemically, they are photographed, yes.
May I approach? Showing you State's Exhibit Y for identification. Is that item sealed?
It is,
Can you open that up, look inside, and tell me if you recognize the contents?
okay. Yes, I do.
And what are those generally?
These are photographed areas of latent prints that were developed on the previously mentioned pieces of paper.
Are those in the same or substantially the same condition as when they were photographed from the processing of these items?
Yes,
This time state would move Y into evidence as 26.
Y will be admitted as State's Exhibit 26.
Is it common when photographs are taken of prints using this method to document or write on the photograph the location of what item is?
yes. What will be is when the items are processed on the original item would be processed. The person that processes it, if they find areas of fingerprints that they want to be examined, they will horseshoe or like half moon that area of the print, and above it would be the case number. Then on the back of the photographed Layton, they would write, because it would be a white background, they would write the location that the Layton was lifted from.
And do you remember how many different Layton cards were in this package?
I don't recall, I didn't count them. 8.
Thank you. Were any fingerprints able to be lifted from the black purse, the wallet, the planner, or the driver's license?
I would, sorry, I would have to look at that to make sure.
You have your report
I
handy?
do.
Okay. If you could, with the court's permission, could you look at that to refresh the memory?
You may.
If you'll bear with me just a moment. Yes, out of the photographs, there were 8 that were identified.
Okay. Or any of them, do you remember from the purse, the driver's license, or the planner?
Okay, let's see here. Yes, there was one from the planner. And one was identified to a receipt that was located in the victim's purse. There were 2 that were identified from the day planner. And the others were from the actual apartment themselves.
Okay. Showing you photograph 2 of states 23. Did you go into the bathroom?
I believe I did.
All right. And do you remember, what does photograph 2 show in the bathroom?
It shows a watch laying on the vanity next to the sink.
Did you notice any blood or discoloration on that watch?
Memory serves, I believe there was, I believe CSI Live and Good noted that.
Approach.
You may.
Showing you states exhibit C for identification.
Okay.
You recognize that package, the handwriting, the documentation on it.
I do.
What is that item?
One broken band gold Seiko quartz ladies watch located from the sink in the bathroom in apartment number 11 at 3216 Cornell Avenue.
You open it up, look inside, tell me if you recognize the content.
Yes, I do recognize that watch.
What is it? Is it the watch?
It is the watch, yes.
The same or substantially the same condition as when it was collected after the processing of this crime scene.
Yes, sir.
This time state with Z and evidence is 27.
Z will be admitted as State's Exhibit 27.
Does have a bio.
And showing you photograph 3 of states 23. What does this show?
It shows that same Seiko watch.
And photograph 4 of 23.
It shows the clasp of that watch.
Does that show the kind of the area that appeared to have some potential blood on it?
Yes,
Were swabs collected of the area that appeared to have blood on
yes, there were.
it? Explain to the jury how that is done.
That would be, you would go ahead and take a clean, sterile Q-tip. And you would go ahead and run it over there. You would do what they call a phenolphthalein test, which would determine whether it was blood or another substance.
Do you remember if the watch itself, the band was broken?
I believe it was, yes.
Did you use that process you described of taking the swabs of the areas of the watch that appeared to have blood?
Right, CSI Live and Good did that.
Okay. In your,
Yes,
she was your trainer.
right, I was there, she did it.
You may.
Showing you states AA. You recognize that item, the packaging, as well as the signatures and documentation.
Yes, I do.
You open it up, look inside, tell me if you recognize the contents.
Yes,
What are they?
that is 2 cotton swabs that were taken from the lady's Seiko watch.
Are they they in the same or substantially the same condition as when they were collected, except for the fact some additional markings because it was sent to Florida Department of Law Enforcement? Time today would move AA into evidence to 28.
It will be admitted as State's Exhibit 28.
And were these items sent to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for some additional DNA analysis?
They were.
Did you have any involvement in the actual DNA analysis process?
No, sir.
You're a fingerprint guy, not a DNA guy. Okay. Did you and CSI Karen Livengood process the inside of apartment 11, the victim's apartment, for the presence of fingerprints?
Yes, we did.
And using what method?
Using a graphite-based powder, which would be on items like on a countertop or on a door frame or what have you. And you would develop, brush it on very lightly. You would determine whether any prints come up, if there was anything that you saw any ridge detail, and then would put a piece of clear tape over it, lift it off, and put it on the back of a white card.
Were there some areas that were processed that photographs were taken instead of tape being used to lift the fingerprints?
Yes, there were.
Why would that be done?
That would be if the print was, if you were unable to get a substantial amount of powder, if it was in a different location. It also would depend on what type of surface it was more than anything, and whether or not it might be another foreign substance on there that would have been compromised if you had brushed it with any type of powder.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if it were some kind of residue of something, or say blood, for instance, or what have you, you would photograph that. You would not try to put powder on that and lift it.
May.
Showing you states to A, B as in boy. Can you open that? Is that item sealed?
It is.
Can you open it up, look inside, and tell me if you recognize the contents?
Okay.
The collection of evidence entered into a trial is very boring sometimes, but they have to get it in. And then when they say what the findings were, that's exciting. So he's kind of like, he's doing a little bit of both, but he's not exactly telling you what the results are yet. But he's putting the evidence in, and it's slow
I do
moving.
recognize these. These are photographed latent prints, photographed by CSI Livengood, or photographed by the photo lab, but processed by CSI Livengood.
Are they in the same or substantially the same condition as when they were collected from the victim's apartment?
Yes, they are.
This time state would move AB into evidence as 29.
AB will be admitted as State's Exhibit 29.
So I'm excited to see, it looks like this one's heavily fingerprints, but I'm excited to see how they dusted for the prints, what that looks like, and then how they compared them, etc. But then this one, he said, was photographed, and how do they compare that? It's very interesting. But yet again, I'm going to preface this. We know he was in the apartment. Now, are his fingerprints on the purse? Are his fingerprints on the receipts and stuff? On the her identification? So that will be very telling.
Again, when photographs are taken of fingerprints, is it the location written on the back of the photograph?
Yes, the location would be written on the back of the photograph.
And how many different fingerprints were present in that package?
Okay, there are 6 photographs that contain various impressions of fingerprints that were photographed, but only a few of them were of any value. But they are on the back of each one is written the location.
Oh, that's interesting. He's already pre-testifying that some of them aren't of value. But here's the thing I want to know. Remember, I was telling you how many potential people could have possibly. So they fingerprinted the hallway, right? You've got the 2 butlers, Joseph and Jocelyn Butler, right? The apartment 12 owners. You've got Lisa Moore. You've got Lisa Moore's son. You've got, obviously, Mike or Demorris Hunter. You've got uh, Theresa Green, you've got Octavius, and then the grandmother came, and then I don't know if the sisters came, right? So did you take all of their fingerprints to compare to the what you currently had, and then you dispel them, or are you only comparing Mike? So I know I'm way ahead of myself. That probably is going to come in tomorrow.
Three.
Were multiple photographs taken of the same fingerprint?
Usually they'll do it in different, contrasts, see what shows up better. Okay.
And generally, actually, generally from where were those fingerprints collected?
Okay. We have, if you'll bear with me, I will tell you. We have a door frame to the victim's bedroom door. We have interior of the victim's front door. Also interior of the victim's front door, but from roughly a different dimension, different area of that. And then this last one was located on the interior front door, just above the door handle. So they're basically on the door frame or the door itself.
But we already know he was in the apartment, so
Were there multiple photographs taken of the same individual print, just from different?
Yes.
Okay. So, published states 29-year-old. Photograph from print number 1.
come on, Court TV, let's go.
Where was print number 1 taken from?
Print number 1 was taken from the door frame to the victim. Victim's southeast bedroom, north side of the frame, 4 1/2 inches from the left rear of the door frame, 56 inches from the floor, in apartment number 11 at 3216 Cornell Avenue.
And we see on the photograph some information. First, under the centimeter section, it says 1. What does that mean?
That one would denote the photograph number when it came to sequencing them in order for evidence purposes.
Does that refer to like the print number 1 associated with Ms. Livington's report?
Yes,
Okay. In the case, the number we have below that, 02-187395, what is that?
that would be the case number, the OPD case number, followed by Ms. Livengood's initials and the date.
Why do you take photographs of fingerprints in black and white?
Because when you roll prints, it's inked, so you have the black and white contrast to determine the ridges from the furrows or the white areas on the prints.
Were swabs also collected from that same door trim of the southeast bedroom door?
I believe so.
Okay.
Okay.
A, C. Recognize that packaging as well as the documentation and the initials and the signature on it.
Yes, I do.
What is it?
Okay, these are 2 blood samples from the southeast bedroom door trim, south side door in apartment number 11 at 3216 Cornell Avenue.
You open up inside, tell me right now.
Yes, I do.
The swabs you mentioned earlier,
Yes, they are.
in the same or substantially the same condition as when they were collected from that southeast door trim.
Yes, sir.
This time state we move AC and evidence is 30, Your Honor.
Any objection? AC will be admitted as State's Exhibit 30.
Was this item also sent to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for further analysis?
It was.
All right. Going back to the fingerprints, referring to fingerprint number 2, where was that fingerprint? From where was that fingerprint collected?
That fingerprint was collected from the interior of the victim's front door, 30 inches from the left side of door, 55 inches from the bottom of the floor, bottom of the door in apartment 11 at 3216 Cornell Avenue.
Fingerprint number 3 from that set of fingerprints, where was that collected from?
bear with me here.
I think you read them off earlier.
Right, I did.
Okay,
I was just looking, I'm sorry, I don't.
that's okay. That's okay. It's getting late. We'll move on. Was another fingerprint collected from the interior front door above the door handle?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Were you also personally tasked with processing the victim's apartment 11, for fingerprints?
Yes, I was.
And were you successful in lifting some fingerprints from the left side of the bathroom sink and the cover of a ceiling fan found in the bedroom?
Yes, I was.
Approach.
You may.
Showing you the warrant states of the AG. You open that up, look inside, tell me if you recognize the contents.
Yes, I recognize these.
What are they?
They are 3 latent fingerprint lift cards that I personally lifted from apartment number 11.
From where?
Okay, one was from the exterior cover to the white ceiling fan found on the floor of victim's bedroom. Left side bathroom sink countertop, which was the second lift, and the first lift was from the same place, the left side bathroom sink countertop.
Are those in the same substantial same condition as when you lifted them at the scene?
Yes, they are.
This time states AG and evidence is 31.
AG will be admitted as State's Exhibit 31.
Moving on to apartment number 9, downstairs. Was a search warrant obtained that allowed you and others to go into apartment number 9 to look for and collect relevant evidence?
Yes,
Did CSI Karen Livengood also attempt to lift fingerprints from various locations in that apartment?
Yes, she did.
You may.
Showing you states exhibit A, D is in dog. You open that up, look inside, tell me if you recognize the contents.
yes, I recognize these.
Does that package contain fingerprints lifted from both the victim's apartment and apartment number 9, Hunter's apartment?
Yes, sir.
So they have to be all combined into the same package.
Yes, sir.
How many different lift cards are there according to the packaging?
21.
Are they in the same, substantially the same condition as when they were collected?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize the handwriting and the documentation on those cards?
Yes, I recognize CST Livengood's handwriting on the cards.
This time, state would move states exhibit A, D is in dog, and evidence is 32.
AD will be admitted as State's Exhibit 32.
And were those fingerprints we just looked at, all the ones eventually sent to the fingerprint analysis unit,
Yes,
to analyze later on?
yes, sir.
All right, we'll get into that a little bit. Was anything else of relevance found in apartment number 9, this apartment owned by, or occupied by Demorris Hunter?
I don't believe so, sir.
Let's fast forward about 13 years now to March 16th of 2015. Did you come to learn that Demorris Andy Hunter had been arrested for first-degree murder in connection with this case?
Yes, sir.
And did you and crime scene and technician Karen Livengood make contact with Mr. Hunter at the Orange County Jail?
We did.
For what purpose?
I was there to personally roll a set of fingerprints and palm prints, or major case prints, we call them, of Mr. Hunter. And Karen Livengood was there to collect buccal swabs, buccal swabs for DNA purposes.
What's a buccal swab?
It's just basically a Q-tip stuck inside the mouth to get a DNA sample.
Showing you states exhibit AE. While you were there with CSI Livengood, did you take a picture of the person that you were collecting these samples from?
Yes, you did.
And who is in the photograph I just showed you?
Demorris Hunter.
Okay. Is that the person from whom you collected fingerprints, as well as the person from whom CSI Livengood collected a DNA sample from?
Yes, sir.
Does that photograph fairly and accurately show what Mr. Hunter looked like then?
Yes.
This time stated to be A, E into evidence as states 33.
AE will be admitted as states 33.
May I publish?
You may.
This is a photograph of the person from whom you collected fingerprints.
Yes, sir.
And you also see him here in court.
I do, sir.
Can you please point him out and tell me what he's wearing and where he's sitting?
He's sitting directly in front of me, wearing a white long sleeve shirt and glasses.
Does he have a jacket or no jacket?
No jacket.
Your Honor, may the record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect.
And therefore, again,
You may.
show me what the mark states exhibit AF. So that CST Live and Good collected a DNA sample from him. What is that item I just showed you?
That is the swab collected from Demorris Andy Hunter on 3/16/15.
Do you recognize the handwriting and the documentation on that package as well?
Yes, I do.
You open it up, look inside, tell me if you recognize the contents.
I do.
What is it?
It is a one buccal swab.
And is it the same or substantially the same condition as when CSI Live and Good collected it in your presence from the defendant?
Yes, sir.
This time state would move AF into evidence as 34.
Any objection?
No objection.
AF will be admitted as states exhibit 34.
Finally, you said you collected some fingerprints from Mr. Hunter, the defendant.
Yes, sir.
Show me what's marked states exhibit AI. You can take a look at that package, open it up, look inside, tell me if you recognize the contents.
Yes, I do recognize this.
What is it?
It is a fingerprint card, an ink,
It's not introduced yet. That's okay.
it's an ink fingerprint card of Mr. Hunter, which contains his name, the case number, my initials or my signature, and the date they were taken, and then a set of palm prints of him as well, bearing the same thing.
How do you actually collect those fingerprints?
Apply a thin layer of black printer's ink to the person you're fingerprinting, place them on the card, and roll them one finger at a time.
Are those in the same or substantially the same conditions when you collected them from the defendant on that day?
They are.
This time state would move states AI in evidence as 35.
No objection.
AI will be admitted as states 35.
Did the defendant also sign the fingerprint card?
I don't recall if he did or not. I don't think he did.
Mr. Buxman, if you could also get the tag.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I have no other questions at this time, Your Honor.
I could have a council approach, please. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a logical stopping place, so I will let you go home for the evening. I've got the same instructions I've had before. Do not discuss the case among yourselves. Don't discuss it with anyone else. Do not do any independent research while you're away from us. And when you leave your pads and pens on the chairs. They will be there when you return. I'm going to ask that you be back in the morning at 9 a.m. and we will resume this trial at 9 a.m. in the morning. Does anyone have any questions? All right, then I will see you back in the morning at 9 a.m. Keep doing time one.
Badly? We spent an hour on tech problem. Yeah.
Okay, so I was checking to see if they were going to put anything on the record. I knew that they were going to stop for the day. because I could just tell for the timestamp, etc. Blah blah blah. All right, so this afternoon, wow. Okay, so this afternoon we heard from Douglas Thomas, who was at the crime scene, and he lifted some prints. Marissa Kuzma, she did the same thing. She collected some evidence. She took some pictures. She had to go to the car. She took some pictures, etc. there. Then we heard from Joyce Butler, and we talked extensively about her. They could have pressed her harder on whether she recalls certain things or what her thoughts and opinions were of some things. She can't give her opinion, but she could have said at the state of mind of as to why she didn't do X, Y, Z, but they didn't press her on that. Again, I'm not sure exactly what the prosecution and the defense is going for when it concerns her, but it is what it is. It's just a case of 24 years old. You can't make fetch happen, right? And then Mr. Kuhn is on the stand right now talking about all the fingerprints that he took. He is going also over the evidence that Karen Livengood had extracted because apparently she's sick. She probably won't be able to testify. So that is what's pretty much going on. So we know that he collected a lot of evidence. He's not doing the DNA. He is only doing fingerprints. So right now they're kind of done with, hey, we collected things. And then probably they said tomorrow they're going to talk about fingerprints and etc. But like we said, we already know that Demorris / Mike was already in the apartment with her. So it's not unusual to find her fingerprints on the door or here or there. Now the purse, that's interesting. And the bathroom ceiling fan, I don't know. So we are just getting to the evidence. So this is where we're at. So make sure to like and subscribe and come back tomorrow because we're going to do it again. Tell me what you think thus far in the comments if you can, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Legalese 123. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe for more content.